Corey and Craig, you win. You win, I give up. I have to figure out what collateral damage happened after that. You guys win. I got to figure out how to pick up the pieces. Family is in shambles. Daughter is in shambles.
Okay, so Anton Daniels is allegedly preparing a lawsuit against Corey Holcomb for traumatizing his daughter. But girl, the streets are saying something completely different about why that child actually had a breakdown. And when I tell you this tea is piping hot, I need you to buckle up because we're about to get into it. Let me catch you up real quick. Anton Daniels is this conservative black commentator on YouTube. You know the type, makes his entire bag dragging black people for clicks because that's what a certain audience loves to see. And Corey Holcomb is a comedian known for his 5150 show where he basically says whatever he wants with zero filter. These two had beef that escalated when Anton showed up to Corey's show and allegedly things got messy. Now, Corey apparently made some comments about Anton's teenage daughter, didn't explicitly call her ugly from what people are saying, but he put her picture on screen and made some jokes that were definitely in poor taste. We can all agree that bringing kids into adult drama is weird energy, right? But here's where this gets interesting. Anton came online doing the most, talking about his daughter is traumatized, needs to see mental health professionals, might have to be pulled out of school for the rest of the year, all this dramatic stuff. I'm a former litigation secretary, so I know this playbook. This is word salad for, I'm getting ready to sue your ass. And people started asking questions because the timeline wasn't adding up and the emotional devastation seemed a bit excessive for what actually happened. So allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly because I wasn't in these rooms, the real reason Anton's daughter had a breakdown has nothing to do with Corey Holcomb's dusty comedy routine. The streets are saying it's all about the woman named Mika that Corey referred to as Anton's side B. Now let me paint you a picture. When Anton went to the 5150 show, he brought this woman with him, Mika, who's apparently on his panel sometimes. Corey apparently said something like, get out of here and take the B with you, which already had people's eyebrows raised. Like, who is this woman and why is she at a taping with you?
Who this woman?
Corey's co-host Darlene, who was also there, said she noticed their interaction when they arrived. Mika and Anton seemed a bit off. I interpret it as her saying there was more to the relationship than two co-workers. Then it gets messier. Mika apparently knew weeks in advance she was supposed to appear on the show, but when she got there, she was suddenly told she couldn't be on camera. So this raises eyebrows that Anton Daniels was making promises to Mika that were really beyond his control, lying to her to maybe get the panties, just saying. Now here's where the real tea comes in. After all this went down, Mika got on social media to defend herself, saying she's nobody's side chick. But, and this is important, she never once mentioned Anton's name. Not once. If someone's accusing you of being someone's side piece and you're not, wouldn't you be like, I'm not Anton's anything, we're just colleagues? The fact that she avoided saying his name while denying being a side chick is very interesting. So people are putting two and two together and getting messy. The theory going around is that Anton's daughter didn't crash out because some random comedian made a joke about her looks. She crashed out because she went online and saw people saying her dad has a whole side chick and may be cheating on her mom. This makes more sense to me. Imagine you're a teenage girl who thinks your parents are happily married, and suddenly the internet is full of people analyzing whether your dad brought his alleged mistress to a comedy show. That's devastating. And honestly, that makes way more sense than a teenager being so traumatized by a stranger's comment that she needs to be pulled from school and see mental health professionals. Like, kids get bullied online every single day and don't have breakdowns that severe. But finding out your dad might be cheating on your mom, that'll do it. But wait, it gets even messier because Anton's own wife has some thoughts. There's a video where someone asked her what it's like being married to Anton, and girl, her answer is not what you want your spouse to say about you. She said, and I quote, "At times it can be hard, sad, and difficult because Anton has a lot of different personalities." She literally said he has multiple personalities. Then she said he's very emotional and doesn't communicate effectively. The interviewer asked if she thinks he's ever unalived anyone, and she said, "I don't think so, but I think he's capable. I've seen him angry before. He's like a totally different person when he's angry. He blacks out." I'm sorry, what? Your own wife is on camera basically saying you have anger issues and multiple personalities and you might be capable of unaliving? And we're supposed to believe your household is so stable that the only trauma your daughter could experience is from a comedian's joke? The math isn't mathing. Maybe these home issues contributed to the breakdown. Again, we're not excusing Corey Holcomb's horrible behavior to the young girl, but Anton has to own some accountability too. Here's the thing that's really getting me about this whole situation. Anton is out here playing the protect black children card, talking about kids are off limits, which, fair, I agree with that sentiment. But people are pointing out that Anton himself has said some wild, disrespectful stuff about other people's kids, including making crude comments about a woman who was killed by ICE officers, a woman who had children. So is it just your kids that are off limits, or do we actually care about all children? The other piece that's sus is that Anton went on his own platform and literally doxed his daughter, said her full name, told everyone she's a junior Olympian ranked number 2 or 3 in the country, all these identifying details. Like, sir, if you wanted to protect your child, why are you giving strangers all this information? That feels very setting up for a lawsuit energy, not concerned parent energy. And the timeline he's giving doesn't add up. First, he says they found out that night. Then he's talking about her being pulled from school. Then he's mentioning the principal's office. When exactly did all this happen? It's giving embellishment. It's giving, I need this to sound as dramatic as possible for legal purposes. What really seals it for me is that Anton apparently doesn't even live in the same house as his wife. Allegedly. There's video evidence of this. So you've got a marriage where the parents don't live together, a wife who says her husband has multiple personalities and anger issues, rumors flying around about a side chick, and we're supposed to believe a teenager's breakdown is about a comedy show? Please be real. Don't piss on my wig and tell me it's shampoo. Look, I'm not saying Corey was right to bring Anton's kid into it. That's still weird behavior. But this lawsuit threat feels like deflection, like Anton is trying to control the narrative and make himself the victim when really his daughter is probably going through it because of what's happening in her household, not outside of it. The way Anton is moving, the dramatics, the legal threats, the public speeches about psychological damage, it all feels very performative. And that's sad because there's allegedly a real child in the middle of this who's actually struggling, but instead of addressing the real issues in his marriage and home life, he's trying to make Corey Holcomb. Anyway, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do you believe Anton's daughter crashed out over Corey's comments, or is this about the alleged side chick situation? And should Anton be threatening lawsuits when his own platform has been messy about other people's kids? The hypocrisy is giving me a headache, honestly. Okay, y'all, stay messy, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.